Sissy there today?
Hey, Sissy.
Hi.
Hi. It was kind of a crazy. It's been a crazy work week already, and it like just started. So I'm feeling a little bit rushed, and I don't like to feel rushed, but I'm going to calm it down a little bit and soothe it out and dish with Sissy.
Yeah.
Are you ready for tonight?
I am ready. How are you?
I'm ready. Again, feeling a little rushed, but I've got everything that I need.
Okay,
this
good.
is one of the ones that it's really quick to do, but like mine has a lot of components, but I took the easy way out. I went to the store and got all the stuff that was already chopped and prepared for me because I was just like throwing it in the cart. I'm like, here. Because I knew I was going to have a very small window to do this. So we'll tell everybody what we're doing.
You tell everybody what we're doing. It was your idea.
Okay, we are doing bowls. So, like when you go to Chipotle or, one of those other places and they have the bowl and it's kind of like a salad, but it's not a salad. So it's you choose a green and then a grain and then a protein and you add in all these little side add-on kind of thing. So that's the concept of what we're doing tonight. We're just making bowls.
Yep. Even the local chicken place has a bowl, so there's all kinds.
Everybody has a bowl now because they're really convenient. And look, if you don't want something on a sandwich, you can put it in a bowl. If you don't want, I'm not a big salad because I don't really like lettuce, but I love the bowls with the fresh vegetables and all that other stuff in it and the protein. I just don't necessarily care for lettuce or, the carbs in a pita or a bread or a wrap or something like that. So I'm really big on bowls. And I like all the sauces that you can put on them. They all have all these different sauces.
I love sausage. I love sausage.
That's actually one of my favorite things. My bowl is pretty simple, but I love just getting out all my stuff and go, okay, we'll make a sauce, and then just start putting stuff in it. And it just kind of turns into whatever. But I wrote it down because I wanted to have kind of an idea of where I'm going with mine. So mine is an Asian inspired bowl. And that's, huh?
No.
Is yours?
Mine's Asian inspired.
Tell me what your protein is.
It's ground pork.
Ground pork. Okay. And you're doing an Asian inspired or Asian infused?
Asian inspired.
Mine's Asian inspired. And I'm using salmon.
Oh, nice.
Well, it cooks really fast and we like it. And it's basically one of the only fish that Bill will eat. So I thought that was, whenever I make a bowl, I make one that actually Jimmy took home and he makes it for Rui on a regular basis when he's actually home and not underway somewhere. But it's really good. But then you can change it up with the different add-ons. So, all right. Well, it looks like you've got stuff ready. I'm ready. You ready to do this?
I'm ready. Let's get at it.
Howdy. Welcome to Dishin with Sissy. We are doing bowls tonight, and ironically, or not so ironically, because that's just the way things work with us, Denise and I are doing the same theme. We are both doing an Asian inspired theme. My bowl tonight is an Asian inspired salmon bowl. So I have some fresh salmon here. This is very easy, which works fantastic for a night like tonight, which was kind of crazy. I went to the store. I got everything that was already pre-chopped, so there's not a lot of prep for me. All I really need to do is make the marinade, throw it in the refrigerator for about an hour. I can take that time to steam any vegetables, grate any vegetables, grill any vegetables, prepare my add-ons, and then I'll take the salmon out. It takes literally 10 to 12 minutes to cook, and then we'll be ready. So it's a quick one, but there's a lot of moving parts. So the first thing we need to do is we need to make the marinade. This is going to be really quick, really easy. I'm going to take about 1/4 cup to start of olive oil. Then I'm going to add about a tablespoon of rice vinegar. Ready. I'm going to take 2 tablespoons of this awesome ginger garlic paste that I got. I used it in another episode, and I figured I have this huge jar, so why not use it? So we're going to put 2 pretty big tablespoons of ginger garlic paste in our marinade. That smells delicious. I'm going to add about a half a teaspoon of red pepper flakes, or just a pinch-ish. I'm going to add some ground white pepper, about a quarter of a teaspoon, not that much. Can't even get that in there. So let's just, about that much. And I'm going to be a little bit cautious on that side right now, because one of the spices that I'm going to use tonight is a Szechuan pepper, salt, and spice. So it has some salt in it, and it has some pepper flavor in it, as well as obviously some Szechuan flavor. So I'm going to use my mortar and pestle and just kind of ground up approximately a quarter of a teaspoon . You want to make sure you grind it into a pretty fine powder. We're going to add that right in there. We're simply going to combine it, and we'll have our marinade. I'm actually thinking I might go ahead and put just a little bit of soy sauce in here. Just a little bit to kind of bring out the flavors. This smells very good, very garlicky, but that's what we use the garlic ginger for, right? And let me see if this is going to need anything else. It does need something else, but I'm not sure what that something is. This is the fun thing for me, is the experimenting and putting in all the spices and kind of getting a feel for where I'm going with this. It needs, to me, a little bit more bite, a little bit more something. So I think I'm going to grab some sriracha sauce. I have some sriracha chili sauce that I'm just opening that was in the cabinet. I saw it in the store. I was like, oh, that might be good for something. Well, let's see how it works with this. I'm just going to do a little bit. We're going to leave this out because I actually have this to make as a drizzle for the top of the bowl a little bit later on. But let's just see if we mix this up. I don't want it too hot, but I want to be able to taste the flavors. That's very good. Okay, so we're going to take about just a little bit of this, because we're going to use it as a sauce as well when we're putting the bowl together. So I'm just going to leave out a little bit of this. I'm not going to put it over the raw fish, just enough to drizzle. That's good. And we're just going to put the lid on this and set this aside. Then we're going to put all of this over our fish dish. I'm going to put the lid on this. I'm going to put it in the refrigerator. You want to allow this to marinate for at least an hour, no more than 4.
The pork is cooked, and I have 3 big cloves of garlic here. I like garlic a lot, so I'm just going to put this in, mince this in here with my handy dandy garlic smasherator. Just going to saute this for a minute or so. It says 30 seconds. When the meat was cooking, I did add about 1/4 of a teaspoon of a Asian 5-spice seasoning. You don't want to use too much because it can be overpowering. I put about 1/4 of a teaspoon in with the pork while it was browning. So now I've got this, and it calls for some ginger. I don't know if you have cooked with ginger root. I have this little piece here. You can just take a knife or a spoon and just scrape off the peel and get you I'm going to cut off a chunk here. Just a small chunk. And the peeling comes off super easy. Probably should have used a spoon instead of a knife. Anyway, so most of it's off, and you don't need that much ginger either. A little bit of that goes a long way. So I've got my little grater here, and it calls for a teaspoon of ground ginger. So I'm just gonna put in about a teaspoon using the real small graty side. You can use powdered ground ginger, or you can grate your own. I bought this because I was craving some sesame ginger dressing. So, but this opportunity came up, so we're having some ginger pork egg roll in a bowl. I have here about 2 cups of shredded cabbage. You can buy a bag of the coleslaw mix. It's just the cabbage, maybe some carrots if you want them. But Steve bought a head of cabbage, so I just chopped it up, shredded it up. And I'm going to put this in with so I'm going to go with 2 good handfuls of shredded cabbage in there. Okay, so I have the cabbage in with the pork, the 5 spice, some garlic and ginger. I'm putting in 1/4 of a cup of a low sodium soy sauce. Just going to let this simmer until the cabbage gets cooked down. I have a rice cooker, and I made some saffron rice, just basic basmati rice with a couple pinches of saffron. So while the pork and the cabbage is simmering a little bit, I got it back here with a cover on to let the cabbage cook down. I got a pan here. I'm going to make some little fried wonton strips to put on top of the bowl and in the egg drop soup. So cut these in thin strips. I've got about 1/4 of a package here. They're really thin little wonton wrappers. I make a really killer egg drop soup. I've been making it for a while. It's so easy. You wouldn't imagine how easy it is. Some people don't like egg drop soup because of the whole slurry egg in there, but I happen to enjoy it. So I'm going to separate these, and I'm going to fry them up.
Back here, my rice is cooking. I'm using basmati rice. For a bowl, you can use whatever rice you want. You can use a jasmine. You could use a sticky white rice would be good. You can even use a quinoa. The husband doesn't care for the quinoa. He likes this rice, so I use this rice. I'm just going to prep the vegetables that I didn't buy already prepared, like cutting this carrot and just shredding. And again, I just need enough for 2 bowls, so just a pinch or 2. And I'm making a mess, but that's okay. And I have everything else out. The only other thing I need to do is grill my pineapple, which I'm going to do right before the salmon comes out of the broiler, only because I want it to be nice and warm. And with the grill marks, I don't want it to get too soggy sitting around waiting. So that's pretty much it. I'm done. I have my vegetables here. I've got some feta cheese. I've got the purple cabbage that I'm going to soak in some rice vinegar and ice water. I've got some green onion we're going to use as a little topper. I've got some radishes, which are fresh and delicious. Baby spinach, edamames steaming in the microwave. And that's it. Man, I think I have just a half a second to go sit down and catch my breath and think about the day. Think about what Sissy's making over there.
Okay, I got the wontons done. Now I'm going to make some egg drop soup. It's super easy. I have 4 cups of chicken stock here. I'm just going to pour it in the pan. I have a half a teaspoon of ground ginger. I like the powder for this. I'm going to put that in there. And a tablespoon of soy sauce. I'm going to put that in and bring it to a simmer.
Hey, howdy folks, back again. So as I explained earlier, the most time-consuming part of this dish is actually just preparing the marinade and then letting the salmon marinate and sit in the fridge for about an hour. But it's been almost an hour and we've got about like 2 minutes left. I have had this cast iron pan heating up on high heat. It needs to be very, very hot. We're going to put this salmon in here, let it sizzle, let it sear the skin until it's nice and crispy. Then we're going to put it in the oven, which I have on a high broil temperature right now. The fish, some people are a little bit apprehensive about cooking fish. I grew up in Maryland, so I'm used to it. And fish is very easy to cook. You just need to make sure that it's done and it's done well. And don't be afraid, if you need to flake it and make sure that it's done. I'm going to put these 2 pieces in the pan. These are 2 nice fillets as well. And you can hear that beautiful sizzle. As you notice, I put it skin side down because, again, we want the skin to get all nice and crispy. Once it's been in here for about 3 minutes or so, we're just going to pop it in the oven for a quick 5 to 7 minutes, and then we'll be ready to plate.
The chicken broth and the soy sauce and ginger have come to a boil. I have here a tablespoon of cornstarch and a little bit of the chicken broth, a little bit of water, just to make a slurry. And what you're going to do is you're just going to pour this in while you're stirring it. Pour the cornstarch mixture in while you're stirring the broth. It helps to thicken it a little bit. Egg drop soup is not super thick. It's kind of thin. So I'm just going to let that go for a minute. The broth is thickened a little bit and it's simmering. I'm going to turn the heat down just a little bit. And what you want to do is start stirring and get a motion going in the pot. And then you just slowly drizzle the egg while you're stirring. Keep stirring in the same direction and just drop a little bit of the egg mixture in there at a time. Keep stirring in the same direction. You just want it to make little ribbons. You don't want to create a, stew or something with the eggs. And that's about it. So I'm going to just stir this around for a minute, take it off the heat, and put a lid on it, and that's the egg drop soup. Okay, so we're back to the pork and cabbage mixture. The cabbage cooked down. There's still a little bit of moisture left in the center. I'm going to put it over medium heat. And I have an egg here that is beat. 1 egg. Beat it up. We're going to use a bit of sesame oil, and I've got some green onions that I also put some in the egg drop soup. Some people put corn or peas in there. I really just like the egg drop soup with the hint of the green onions. So the pearl move. So the pan is hot. What I'm going to do is I made a little well in the center. Just going to pour the egg in there. Get all of it out. And you're just making like a scrambled egg in the center. And then you'll mix it in with the pork and the cabbage. Just keep bringing in stuff from the edges and stirring. been a long day. This is going to taste good. It smells super. And be able to sit down and relax and have some egg roll in a bowl. All right, so the egg started to firm up a little bit. I'm just going to start mixing it all around in here. And here is my plated dish. I've got the saffron rice with the pork and cabbage egg roll in a bowl with the crispy wontons, and then the egg drop soup with some crispy wontons. And it really does taste delicious.
We're back. That was a quick one.
It was pretty quick.
Quick and easy. And the only time it really took was to let it marinate. And if I had put that in the refrigerator, like before I went to work or on my lunch break or something like that, I could have had dinner made in about 15 minutes.
Right.
All right, let's see your Asian-inspired bowl, sister.
Okay, so this is an egg roll in a bowl. It's ground pork and sauteed cabbage and some seasonings, soy sauce, whatnot, ginger, over some saffron rice, and some homemade little crispy wontons,
Yum, yum.
and also egg drop soup.
Egg drop soup.
That's nice.
That sounds delicious. And I've had your egg drop soup, and it is actually very fantastic.
Yours looks amazing.
Well, it's just, but see, the thing is that all of this I bought like pre-cut. The only thing I really had to do was prepare the fish. Baby spinach down. I've got some of the marinade that I had. I used some of that garlic and ginger paste. You know, I have like a 5-gallon tub of it because so
Yeah.
I used some of that to make the marinade, threw some other stuff in there. And so I reserved a little bit so I could use some on the baby spinach. So I put some on the baby spinach and I put regular rice. I almost did saffron rice. I came
Really?
so close. I was like, I don't have it in me right now. Like I can't. So then I put the salmon over top of it, and then I added some, all I had to do was steam a bag of edamame. I have some radishes. I grilled some pineapple rings, shredded some carrot. I did put some purple cabbage in a rice vinegar and water bath just to kind of get it so it was crunchy, but it had a little flavor to it, but not too harsh. I threw some feta cheese over it because everything's better with feta. And some green onion, and then I made just a homemade sriracha mayo drizzle to put over the top of it. So you have two different sauces in the bowl. And like I said, had I, prepared the fish in advance and had it sitting in the refrigerator, I literally could have come in, turned the pan on, turned the oven on, cooked it, chopped everything, and had dinner ready in 15 minutes. That's why I love the bowls.
Yes, yours looks delicious. There was something, the grilled pineapple. Oh man.
Oh, you know it. You got
That would be good in my dish as well.
it would. It absolutely would, and I wouldn't be mad if you threw some in there.
Nope, I may do that.